Smithy, well, again, huge congratulations on a wonderful achievement. Does it still taste sweet, the fact that you have attended many Paralympics, but to get that call up once again, it's special, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the kind of the process I'm very used to now. It's like going over old ground a little bit, but obviously joining ParalympicsGB is always the pinnacle of an athlete's career. And the call up, the Zoom call with Penny Briscoe. She's quite good at. She'd make a good politician. She knows what to say to get you excited. So yeah, she's cool.
How have the last couple of months been for you, kind of with the build up? Such an important year, but I know you have traveled extensively with competitions. A very, very intense schedule, but worthwhile, beneficial.
Yeah, no, it's been really condensed this year. I think because of the bipartite sort of ranking system now that the ITC are using, we've had a lot of competitions sort of crammed together. So we're kind of this season has definitely felt more congested than normal. So sort of from sort of March to sort of end of July, really, it's just full on. But I think it's good preparation for me. It's nice to be able to. I'm not a fan of training. I always, I do it, but it's never not the most exciting thing in the world. So to be able to go to places to actually compete, sharpen, you get used to. You get a feel for what's going on. You see what your rivals are doing. It just gives you an idea of where you're at, and it then means that when things do settle down, I'll have a little bit of time to just refresh and sharpen the sword, ready for the game. So, no, it's been really useful for me, and actually a lot of the travelling initiative for the team as well. So we're sort of Kaylee is being selected for our squad. It's like her first Paralympics with boccia, well, forever, for any sport, but she's only been playing the game for like nearly 2 years now, and so it's all very new for her. And so we're also trying to cram in as many competitive experiences as possible for her, just to give her a little bit of experience before Paris. Obviously, it's not going to be the same because you can't compare with the Paralympic Games, but we're doing the best we can for her to just give her that sharpness that she can go into Paris comfortable enough to deliver the performances that we know she can. So, yeah.
Well, it's brilliant, isn't it? When we've got, the likes of you and such an experienced squad to hand down this experience and get her ready for the biggest global stage, shall we say. From your perspective, you are a very cool customer. Is it easier when the target is on your back going into the Paralympic Games? How do you cope with that element, that pressure? Because you are a stalwart, you're an amazing ambassador for the sport of boccia, but how do you cope with that element?
Um, I think it's just to get used to it. I think it's not something that I'm naturally gifted at coping with it. When you're at the top, it's sort of you got to either get used to it or you don't be at the top much longer. So I had two choices really. It's figure out how to deal with it or don't. I picked the first option. So it's tough. When you're expected to win, it can be hard. I find it difficult to get started in tournaments, particularly against players that you kind of know should be a fairly straightforward game. It's just hard to get up for it. I find it difficult to just motivate myself to even get out of second gear. It can be a bit of a struggle. I like people to come back at me and be aggressive with themselves, and then that gets my juices going. But if it's a little bit mundane, then I do find it difficult to just reach my level. So yeah, those first games are always tough, but it's tough for everybody. I think everybody's in the first couple of games, you're trying to figure out what's going on. You're keeping an eye on the floor. You're not totally sure how it's rolling. The balls may not really be reacting to what you're normally used to. So it's aiming points are different, all that stuff. So it's the first couple of games, you're literally just trying stuff out really and hoping that something works and you find some sort of rhythm. And then you can start getting your way into the tournament. And then sort of from the quarterfinals onwards, I tend to click. For me, that's where when it's knockout, I think I prefer it. I think it just keeps me a bit more engaged. Or when there's nothing riding on it, I find it difficult to get myself up. So yeah, when it's knockout, particularly quarterfinals and stuff, that's usually when I'm at my peak, just because I don't want to go home without a medal. And it's it's the quarterfinals is the first of the knockout and the worst time to get knocked out because you guaranteed nothing. So yeah, get to the semis and I relax a little bit and sometimes too much. So so that's kind of my mentality anyway.
Well, you're a fierce competitor, and there's nothing more special than the Paralympics.
ParalympicsGB is such a crazy organization. Just the amount of people involved and the movement, the sort of the ambition behind it, the sort of it's not just about sport. It's sort of about showing the wider population what can be achieved, regardless of the ability. And yeah, it's also a powerful promotion of social change and stuff as well. So it's not just about sport, which I quite like. And it and their sole purpose, their sole sort of thing is getting us as best prepared possible to perform as well as we can. And all I'm interested in is playing well. So we kind of align quite nicely. So like I want to play as well as I can. They want me to play as well as I can. Happy days.
Sounds good. And no doubt there'll be lots of people cheering and supporting you back in Swansea, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope the whole city. I'm sure they will get behind me and the rest of the team. And yeah, we've got a fairly strong Welsh contingent. I mean, obviously, I'm not Welsh, but I'm living in Wales, so I kind of hug both sides of that. Obviously, the easterly part of me is still there, and obviously, friends and family living down the south coast. I'm sure will be glued to the TV as well. So yeah, it's and obviously I've got links to my old school at Trelaws and Swansea University, and so yeah, I've got links everywhere really, and yeah, and obviously the boccia community around the UK. I'm sure will be keeping their eyes peeled as well. So yeah, we got a good base, and yeah, I'm hopeful to be able to put on a show for them. I know a couple of guys are heading out as well to watch. So my partner Claire's coming out as well to watch me, which will be the first time she's seen me in a competitive environment. So yeah, that'll be cool for her. Yeah, that's good, and yeah, I'm hopefully going to deliver something. It's going to be tough. I'm not, no bones about it. I know I'm ranked third in the world now, so I actually, for the first time, I'm probably not going in as the absolute favourite, which is quite nice. I'm going in as one of the could do's. So yeah, I'll take that. And yeah, I've quite like the fact that I'm sort of not under the radar because everybody knows who I am, but I'm sort of going in as the hunter, not the hunted. So yeah, there's a couple of people on that list that I'm after. So yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. And everyone at Disability Sport Wales can't wait either. We'll be cheering you on, Smithy. We wish you all the best. Before you go, have you had a bit of a chat with the barber about, what the signature hair is going to be for Paris?
We keep on about it. There's a few ideas going around the squad at the moment. I'm keeping it low until the sort of middle of August, just to get all the ideas out in the open, and I'll make a final decision. But yeah, no, I'm all sorts of suggestions going on at the moment. So it could be crazy. I mean, it was crazy anyway, so who knows? But yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you. As I said, everyone at Disability Sport Wales wishes you the very best of luck. Hope it goes well. And just bring it home, Smithy. Bring it home from Paris. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. No worries.